Hey there! Welcome back to the Mothcast, a podcast about video games and how a couple of moths feel about them. The game for episode 46 is The Bridge, a physics-based 2D puzzle game with a very, very unique art style. Construct impossible structures, and let's get into the podcast. All right. The game for this week is called The Bridge.
The Bridge.
Yeah. Definitely an interesting game.
It was an interesting game.
On the surface, it looks very intriguing.
Yeah.
Very neat if you're into
like
impossible
stylized, sketch.
Yeah, like impossible what would it be like when you're building a building?
Yeah. I mean, it's described as MC Escher. So
yeah, MC Escher is what it is inspired
if you want to go
by.
look that up, or if you know already.
Yeah, it's like the staircases leading to nowhere. Think like
optical illusions.
Yeah,
stuff like that.
I think what I think of when I see the staircases doing that is like the Harry Potter staircases that are like moving around at random or
moving around. You walk upside down on them, stuff like that.
Yeah. What was the other thing? Alice in Wonderland, I believe, has a section in one of the movies where they do that.
I think so. Yeah.
In the live action. Yeah. But I guess there's an artist that does the black and white, lots of optical illusions and surrealist art that this game is inspired by. The game is supposed to be a logic puzzle style game where you're a guy who is I guess he's like a mathematician or a theoretical physicist or something.
I just want to add, his fucking legs don't work. Okay, I mean,
yeah, we'll get there,
but it's not like he's not disabled or anything.
Yeah, no, he's.
I'm jumping ahead.
Yeah, we'll definitely get to his legs don't fucking work, because he's not wrong. His legs don't work, but it's yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, so Tim is a bit sick today. I think we think he's not sure yet.
My nose is stuffed up, but it's all right.
Yeah. And so, yeah, we'll just kind of blaze through this game because, spoiler alert, it's going to be a rough episode. But yeah, so it's a puzzle game, physics puzzles, timing puzzles, everything's in 2D, yet kind of 2.5D because there's layers upon layers upon layers, and
there's layers.
Sometimes you walk forward and you walk up a wall, and then oh no, it's there's something there that you walked on that you didn't realize you were gonna walk on because you thought it was a part of the freaking background.
But it's as you do with the MC Escher, where it's the obstacle illusions, you walk up the wall and then you go around, and it's the infinite loop basically.
Right. But yeah, so that's the game.
You walk behind the one you just walked off of.
And but yeah, so like we said, it is this sort of hand-drawn sketch style, black and white, 98% of the time. There is a point at the very end of each section that becomes color. Full disclosure, before we continue, there is, I guess you would say, two parts to this game?
Mm-hmm. 2 parts.
You have the original 4 chapters.
Yeah.
And then you have mirrored versions of those 4 chapters. And neither of us played the mirrored chapters.
Yeah, technically it's you're supposed to because it's the full game.
Yeah. But
and not just
didn't.
Play the game again, blah blah blah, but harder. No, it's you're supposed to play both. We did not, so technically we didn't finish this game. So
yeah, but we kind of mutually agreed that we couldn't really take it anymore.
We mutually agreed, nah, fuck that.
Yeah, basically. All right, so let's just go through our steps. Because I think the graphics really are good. Really nice.
They're pretty good. I
it is 2D, and like sometimes it's really annoying because you don't notice uh oh, there's something there that I'm supposed to walk on, and that's how you solve the
yeah,
puzzle.
yeah.
But like that's, I guess that's sort of the challenge in it.
Mhm.
Where it's like the a part of the challenge of each puzzle is the like,
Is finding
oh,
out
go
how,
ahead.
like, what you can walk on and what, like,
What
how
you can't, right?
like, background/foreground slash foreground interacts
Right.
when you're walking or rolling the death ball.
Or rolling the death ball. Um yeah. Y- so like, don't get us wrong, I think we both really like the art style.
Yeah, it looks
Um
good. I like it. Uh,
it's just ooh, some other parts really leave a lot to be desired.
yeah,
I don't really know if there's much else to say about the graphics other than like they were definitely going for this like I am a manic like physicist or like mathematician or whatever this person is, and these are my
yeah,
sketches
these
for
are
the
sketches.
things that I'm doing. And it does that. It's, it's really good in showing that. It's just, you know, I don't know, sometimes it gets a little annoying. But like,
Yeah, just a little, but, I mean, the it's fine, the art style's fine.
yeah, I don't know.
I do
I don't
kinda
want to
like
say
the
like
that
in a good
those
way, but
kind of,
like,
like, schematic sketches, you know?
yeah.
Those are kinda cool. Um, but, yeah, anyway,
But and then like the music, there's really not a whole lot to say about the
there's
music
not
either. It's
it's
kind
kind
of
of
just like
like
background spooky, like uh I guess like
yeah, it's
I'm
like
thinking, what, like you're in a an older Zelda game, and it's one of the spooky dungeons, and it's like the
yeah,
background music while
that's pretty
nothing's
much
happening.
what it sounds like. It's just, like, background spooky ambience music,
Yeah. And it's
and
kind
that's
of
it.
just like that the whole time.
Yeah.
There isn't really much of a change, like at all. uh as awkward as that is, I don't know, like it would, as I've said in many other games, I wish that if you have the ability to conduct music, which I know this was made by a couple of guys, but if you have the ability to conduct music, like do a couple of tracks, change it up, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like if you're going for
Maybe, like, a
creepy,
few
go
of
for
them.
creepy.
It's not supposed to be a creepy game, though. It's supposed to be like a logic puzzle thinking game. So it's
Yeah,
like, I don't know.
I like
The
I
music doesn't really hit that, I guess.
it's not like bad music, but it does definitely, like, it's not really, it doesn't really add anything either.
No, it's just there,
It's just kind of there.
unfortunately.
Um like kind of mid marks for that. So far, like from what I'm
Yeah,
thinking of, the best thing about this game is its art style, and even that is like, it's unique, but it's nothing like, it doesn't break your brain or destroy you or anything with how good it is. I mean, it kind of breaks your brain, but like, I don't know if
but not
that's a good
not the
way.
not the way that normally, yeah.
Yeah. I feel really bad trying to
Yeah,
cover this game on this podcast, because like there really isn't a whole lot to say. I know you said that before we started recording, but like, wow. Um, graphics are neat. Sound doesn't really do anything. There's no other.
yeah.
I mean, I guess there's some other audio design where there's uh, like the certain platforms that slide back and forth,
Oh, yeah.
that make the like
It's
nice
like a sliding sound.
sliding sound.
Like you would
The
like stone on stone, I guess.
ones that like hiss toward the end of the game are like really really annoying. Um, and then like the rolling boulders of the little like boulder balls that kill you
The
are,
death balls.
they're just, it sounds
They
like
roll.
a boulder rolling down a hill, like exactly
Yeah.
what you think it would sound like.
Keys sliding sound like keys,
Yeah, it's all like completely accurate to what it would sound like. So like there's no like throwing off of there's no like it doesn't break your immersion, I guess.
Yeah.
So that's like good. But like there's no other there's nothing else. There's no
There's
other thing
nothing
in the
else.
game.
There's nothing. There's him snoring at the beginning of the game.
Oh yeah, dude, nice.
He snores.
He
You
snores.
wake up.
He snores. He wakes up. The apple falls from the tree and hits him in the head. Nice.
Classic.
Classics sleeping under an apple tree. Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway,
So
not a whole
the
lot
thing that
for
we
music.
want to talk about is the gameplay that is
Yeah.
like kind of rant worthy, but like I don't even know if I want to
There's
dignify
also
this
not
game
much
with
of
a
that.
rant.
Like,
Well,
if I'm gonna be honest,
there is. So like we said, we didn't play the quote unquote second half of the game. So like the first 4 chapters, chapter 1 establishes the mechanics, the initial mechanics where it's like, okay, so you are a guy and you are put into this weird impossible architecture puzzle. I found the word architecture. And you need to like get to the door. It's like,
yeah,
okay, that
you've
should be
got
fine.
you've got 2 controls.
Yeah.
You've got walking, and you've got rotate the world.
Right. Like literally, like you rotate the whole screen. I don't know if anybody's ever played this or like done this as a child, but there's like the like little ball puzzle where you literally like have to like balance the ball, and if it falls into one of the holes before it makes it to the end where it can like go into the divot, like that's basically this game. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Where you like put the ball and it has like a bunch of holes on its way to the end.
Yeah, it's like a maze that you gotta.
Yeah, and you have to like navigate through the maze, but don't fall into the holes. And then you make it to the end and it goes into the divot. And it's like, yeah, you won, woohoo! That's basically this. That's this game. Yeah. With like added bonus of
on like a 2D plane.
Yeah, well, with the added bonus of like you can also move your character. Kind of sometimes it matters a little.
Sort of. most of those puzzles, I'm pretty sure you could just do them without moving the guy at all.
Yeah, I think I moved him like meaningfully in like 3 puzzles total.
Because as I said earlier, his legs don't fucking work.
Yeah, no. If there's any
climb up any basically any ramp of any kind. It's like if there's too much of a slant that you'd think any other game would be able to walk up. He just doesn't. He just can't.
Well, he's just falling. Oh, he's falling. Oh, okay.
Like,
and like then sometimes you're like, oh, I gotta race this ball over to this door.
He just like walks.
And like he'll just like, I'm accidentally like falling on a flat plane, and it's like, well, yeah, I guess I'm dead. Fuck.
Your world is turned slightly, and it's like you have to, since they're such like sometimes precise puzzles. They're not. But you want the ball to like roll, but like you not slide.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, you accidentally have a little bit too much of a slant. He just won't walk up the slant. And it's just like, okay, fine. Let me get a flat ground for you, you fucking idiot.
Yeah. The other like notable control that you have is the spacebar, which rewinds time.
That's more for if you mess up.
Yeah. So like if you overcorrect when you're like turning the world, or like you did something wrong and you want to go back but you don't want to reset the whole puzzle, you can just like
a rewind,
back it up a little, which like I don't know, I've got mixed feelings about this, because like on one hand it's good because you don't have to reset every single puzzle every time, but like, man,
I mean it's I liked it because it was like if you messed up a little bit, you could just reverse it a little and then
continue
from try something else at that point.
Yeah, but here's my issue with it. Okay, and I'm maybe you'll also identify with this. Like there were definitely times where I didn't know what the fuck I did to like get through a portion of the puzzle. So like if I were to try to recreate half of the puzzles that I finished on this game, wouldn't be able to do it.
Mm-mm.
You know,
Nope.
like there was one
Especially
puzzle that
the
I just
last
like
puzzle of chapter
accidentally
4.
finished.
Exactly, I did that. That's how I did the last level of chapter 4.
Yeah,
Like, I was
no.
just rotating, and the ball fell where the button is, and I'm just like,
Oh,
"Oh,
we did it.
okay."
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's
'Cause
not.
it just, like, you know, the like, pillars that, like, arch through each other?
Mhm.
The ball just fell through those, and it hit like, landed on the button. I'm just like,
Like, oh, okay.
"Okay."
Cool.
I just went through the door, and I'm just like, "That worked, I guess." I don't know how I did it. I probably wouldn't be able to do it again. So, it's fine, I guess. I don't know. Can't imagine doing the mirrored ones. Ugh.
Yeah. Well, and so that's what I was gonna go to is like chapter 1, you do just like the basic controls, and then chapter 2 introduces the vortexes, which will basically like keep something that moves in a spot until you unvortex it, i.e.,
Yeah.
yourself, or like you have to move a ball around to hit a button. Um, and then you can unvortex and move around again, etc. Which I thought was like kind of a cool little
Yeah.
bit. I actually like. I thought that was very unique. I will
Mhm.
say like above everything else in this game, and I will continue to say like all of the mechanics in this game are very very unique. You won't see
Yeah.
anything like this in another game. You really
Probably
won't.
not,
I'll give
no.
it its props. You know, um,
Yeah.
but there's a difference between unique and enjoyable. Uh,
Yeah.
and I would say, at least for me, like it wasn't really enjoyable.
'Cause, like, each chapter gives a new mechanic.
Yeah,
Like, chapter 1 just, like, shows you that the death balls are death and there's keys.
yep,
Chapter 2 gives you, I
the
think,
vortex.
like, vortex, yeah.
Yeah,
Chapter 3 gives you the, like, the switch,
the inverse, the inverting.
the inverting,
Yeah, where you
uh
become you. Well, okay, so like it's not even just a switch. Like you do invert, but you also invert your character, which
yeah, you
means like
become a different color,
if
which
you're
means
gray, you can't enter white doors or pick up white keys. But if you
yeah,
become white and inverted, you can, but you can't grab gray things or go through gray
or touch
doors.
gray things. Like, even the death balls become white and gray.
Right.
So, like, if you're white and you won't die to a gray ball,
Yeah.
and vice versa.
Right.
And
Exactly.
then chapter 4, I think, just puts
It
those
adds the veil.
together. Oh, no, the veil, yeah.
Yeah. It adds the
Which what
veil.
that does
Oh,
is when you step into it, um, your character you can rotate the world,
no,
because
it's,
everything has gravity, right?
well,
But
okay,
a lot
wait.
of things have. Go ahead.
Okay, so like you're right, but it's actually that you don't. It's not as that you rotate the world and you stay in one place. It's that you're actually rotating a different axis that only applies to those like glowing, the like glowing versions. So it's like you've got
Yeah,
gray things, white things, and then you've got the like negative things.
yeah. I I felt it was more of like you're just changing the gravity.
Um,
Or you're just like the gravity is going one way. Things are going either with the gravity or against the gravity, and you're rotating the world to make it like change, make the gravity change
according
how
to that,
it's according to that. Yeah,
maybe. I'm
because
gonna
like
be
the
honest,
gravity
because
itself doesn't change, but like you can change the world and how the gravity affects it.
so like I was pretty
And then once
confident in
you,
my definition of what the like veil did, but honestly, it could be either.
it
It
could be, yeah. I
like
mean,
there's not really a clear way of figuring it out slash saying. I'm sure the developers could come out and say it's
yeah,
just I don't know, man. Like
because like it feels like you change the world, and then once you step out of the veil, like the gravity works differently
yeah,
in the world where your character's out of the veil controlling.
I'm not a huge fan of the Veil. I think the Veil is the worst
It
part
was
about this
it
game.
was really annoying to try and figure out some of these puzzles, but like, I mean, because it's like you gotta first you have to like do it while your character's not in the veil, and you gotta figure out what like how the gravity works in the first place. And then once you go in the veil, you have to like place everything like differently to how it was, and then step out of the veil and then do it. And it's just like, okay, yeah, let me just kill
So,
myself. I
uh,
mean,
you found the video
that,
of the whole game, right? And this person made a the bridge full game walkthrough long play, right?
yeah,
No commentary, just playing. Um, I think this channel probably is full of just that. But like a lot of these mirrored chapters that I'm looking at are just like in even in chapter 1 where it's like, oh, it was all pretty simple. They just add like a fuck ton of little balls to just kill you.
just add more
And
things.
so
Yeah,
it's
and
not
it's just
even
like
it
it's not
just becomes
exactly
trial
mirrored.
and error. It's just
Yeah.
like, oh,
At one
well,
point, you get a second person to like.
if you get lucky,
You
you
have
get
to
to
pick up the
continue.
keys. You have to pick up the keys at the same time, or you have to enter the doors at the same time. It's just like fuck off.
Yeah. So it looks like in chapter 1 it is just like it adds all of the regular world 1, 2 and 3 and 4 like mechanics to each puzzle or wherever applicable.
Yeah.
And then chapter 2 you see the oh no, it might be chapter 3 of the mirrored. No, yeah, chapter 2 is when you start getting a second guy.
Yeah.
Um so like technically that is a um that is a like mechanic of the game that we didn't play. But
I'm fine with
I'm
that.
I'm not really interested. Like this is I think this might have been one of the first games where like that isn't a horror game where like I'm just not interested in finishing it.
Yeah.
Um
And me, who like actually enjoys puzzles sometimes, I wasn't interested either.
yeah, I think
Like it
that
became to me, it became like a hold the left arrow simulator or hold
yeah.
the right arrow
Well,
simulator.
and
It's
it's what I
like
said earlier, like it becomes after a while it becomes an exercise in patience and trial and error because like I'm not smart enough to logic this shit out before I do anything, right? I
like
can't look at this and be like, "Oh, yes, if I do this, then I do this, then I go over here and then I do that, and then I do this, I should be fine and I'll win
yeah,
because logic." No, I'm not going to be able to do that. There's so much impossible fucking like visual shit going
like
on
shenanigans. Yeah.
and how sometimes like the inverted colors they work in on different axes and different gravities than the regular and then the um what is it called the like glowing ones work on an additional one like in addition to those two so you have like
Yeah, yeah.
three axes of gravity to consider and
Three
they're
gravities. Yep.
right, and so you're like trying to move this shit around, but only one can be controlled at any given time. So it's like you have to consider all of this shit where like I am not my brain is not that wrinkly. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like I'm too stupid for this game, and that's fine. It's not even that this game isn't made for me, which I guess technically it's not, but like I'm not I'm never going to enjoy something like this. I'm never going to be able to do it because
Yeah.
like puzzles for me, I will play them for a little while, but as we've said with what was it Doors Paradox, like
Yeah.
after a while I just lose interest and like
Hmm.
man, I'm the like making it more logically complex is not going to help me.
No, no, no. Like it. Yeah. It just becomes a pain. Really.
Yeah.
I'm not patient enough. Um. I mean, there was a few levels that it was like in chapter 1 that was the one level specifically. I think it's the spiral. I don't know if you know the one I'm talking about.
I don't, but I
Um,
can look.
it's chapter 1 sometime.
There's
Um,
the
it's literally you just hold the left or the right arrow key.
is it the one where the ball comes in for the first time?
No, no. It's in chapter not mirrored chapter 1.
Oh no, I
Just
know.
chapter 1. Um
Oh no,
no,
that's the
it's
menace. Is the first time you see the ball. And then the
yeah, it's like
courtyard is
level
the ball on the little string. Um, and
it's
then
like
there's the two keys that are in the little
the
spirals.
spiral, yeah. You can literally just like hold the arrow key and just rotate until you win.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like I'm not even joking. You
I mean,
just
there's a
hold
point
the
where you have to
button.
like reverse the direction that you're going for the second key,
Oh
but
yeah,
like on the whole, it is yeah, like hold
you you
left,
just
hold
you
right, you
just hold
won.
left, you hold right until you collect both keys, or whatever. Whoopee, and it's just like this is boring.
Yeah. Um,
Boring as shit.
I I'm like trying to think of a way to improve this because there's no mouse functionality in this game. It is all
No,
keyboard
just
and like
arrow keys
keyboard.
and WASD.
Yeah. Well, not even WS. It's just A and D.
Well,
Well, I
you
guess
need W
W
to
to go up, but
enter the doors, but
yeah.
whatever.
Um. Yeah. There's not like there's not a whole
Spacebar.
lot of thing like what could you even do to improve this game? There isn't really much, right?
No, I mean, not really.
Maybe my brain is too small to think of something to make this game more fun. Um, I
I
guess
don't know.
like to me, whenever
Maybe
I
like
go ahead,
be able to jump or like your character could move a little better. I don't know.
yeah, maybe like definitely the moving a little better would be nice. I don't know. To me, whenever I play like some kind of puzzle game, I feel like every puzzle game has its own sort of set of rules that you can abide by, right?
Yeah,
And like even if your brain gets a little stretched because like the rules don't really match reality or they're stupid.
which is normal. Like for most puzzle games, where it's like, okay, yeah, you gotta think with portals. You
Right,
know?
you got to think with portals. And that's actually a perfect example is like portal you have to think like, "Oh, here are my two tools. I need to apply them in this way that interacts with this to do this." And then you can think that through because the game shows you this set of rules that you can then take advantage of. Whereas
Yeah,
this game like throws that all out the window and like you have to rely on timing and like sometimes it feels like sheer luck to do things
yeah. It
correctly.
it does feel like luck.
And like with Portal, you always knew what you did to finish it and you always go, "Wow, that was cool." Whereas
Yeah,
with
pretty
this,
much.
like sometimes you don't. You just
No,
finish it or you fail and you go, "What the fuck do I do next? This makes no sense."
Portal
And
at least has like
ah,
it gives you the set of rules, i.e., Portal 1 and Portal 2.
mhm.
Um, and then it's like go do it.
Yeah, good luck.
You have gravity, you have like momentum. Do the puzzle.
Right. And like on it
Use
like
your portals
obviously
how you're supposed to do it. Like throw yourself around. Uh, I mean, there are a couple of other like mechanics that are introduced later, but still, it's like use the portals.
like maybe there is a maybe we are both just so stupid that
Maybe I don't know.
this is not going to be our game ever. Like
Yeah,
maybe I don't know. Maybe we're just dumb and we need to like get more brain in order to be good at this game cuz like obviously there are people that enjoyed it and like you
yeah,
look at Steam and it has like thousands of positive reviews. I don't know where because there's quite a few that are like this is really stupid and like it handles really poorly and I don't like it and like blah 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 blah. Uh but I don't know. Maybe this game is not made for us
I
like
don't know.
small
Maybe it's
brains.
just not the kind of puzzle I like doing. You know?
Yeah. Also, I guess the other thing is it makes you feel like not in control, which is like kind of
Yeah,
important for a puzzle game.
because it's like the whenever you rotate, the ball just wants to do it at once.
Yeah.
And like you can't control your character while you're rotating at all because you can't go up like a 1 degree incline.
Yeah. Yeah,
which
basically.
is very frustrating because it's like I wanna move out of the way of this ball. Oh, but like you can't because you can't go fast enough, and B, while you're rotating, it's just like, oh, he's just stuck. Fuck
Yeah.
you.
Fuck you.
So
um
it's a little rough.
is there any other like thing that we missed from the gameplay? Because I think like
No, I think that's
we've
it.
pretty well described the situation. Like obviously we both agreed that we weren't going to play the mirrored chapters.
Yeah.
Um which like I know we shouldn't really be making a review if we haven't finished the game. Um
Yeah.
but
But
like
like
I think we go
we
ahead.
both watched like a video on
Well,
this.
it's not
We
necessarily that. It's
mentioned.
just that like if I'm going to go through a game that like I hate, right? Which is we've done that before, right? We just
Yeah.
played Jitsu Squad. We played um
Ghost Runner.
yeah, we played Ghost Runner recently and we played Wonder Boy, like 3 games that we both hated. But the difference is that like I could see myself finishing those games.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Whereas like with this game, I just have absolutely no will to touch it again.
Yeah.
Just
Like
like so boring,
the amount of
so
time
boring.
and patience that it would take to play this boring ass game.
Yeah,
I would just much rather be doing like laundry or something.
basically. Like, is it a bigger crime to make me angry at how shit your game is? Or is it a bigger crime to make me so bored of your game that
That you
like
don't want to play it
I don't even
anymore.
want to pick it up again? Yeah. Like what's the bigger crime in your eyes?
I don't know. I would think probably the second one
Yeah,
because like
honestly, it might be the
at least
second one.
at least Ghost Runner I might like pick up again if I, just
Well, yeah, like if okay, so if they
like
put
just
me
get
in a
a
room,
little.
if they
Go
put
ahead, go
you in
ahead.
a room, okay, and they said, "All right, you have to play one of these games to completion. You have to beat it, top to bottom." Would you rather play Jitsu Squad, Ghost Runner, Wonder Boy, or the Bridge? If you don't finish this game, you die. Like
Um,
it's gonna be one of the other games.
it's gonna be one of the other
Like
games. Like
always. Like I'll die
like
because of boredom because of the bridge. like
like if it was one of those 4 choices, probably Ghost Runner.
yeah, probably Ghost Runner even though like it was pretty
That was the
bad.
like it was pretty bad, but like
It was engaging at
at
least.
least was more fun than the other 3. I mean, Jitsu Squad is a close second, but
Yeah.
because like I did
I
have a little bit of enjoyment of that because
yeah,
that's what beat 'em up. Like
it's just kind of built in to the fabric of the game.
Wonder Boy can go fuck itself.
Yeah, Wonder Boy
I'm
is
honest.
like right next to the bottom to me. Um no, I think I would probably play Wonder Boy
Would
again before Jitsu Squad. That game fucking sucks. Anyway, yeah,
did
no,
not like
not this
Wonder Boy at
game.
all. I'm
This
sorry.
game is horrifyingly boring.
I
Um,
would like it's the whole thing where it's like humans can't stand being bored. They will
well, yeah,
literally, if you lock them in a room with a thing that shocks them, they will literally just like we'll just shock ourselves to keep from being bored.
yeah,
Like we'll go back to the pain to not be bored out of our fucking skulls.
yeah, it's true.
I'm
It
pretty sure
is
that was the
true.
thing that was tested.
Anyway, okay, so let's kind of get through the quote unquote
The s-
story in this game.
story, yeah.
And then sign off because rah. So there's not a whole lot here. There are like little snippets in between each chapter.
Yeah.
And I have them like pulled up. And I'm just going
Okay.
to read them out so that we can just like read them through and then interpret them however we do. So after chapter 1, it says, in quotes, "I've finally found someone who shares my passion for esoteric mathematics. We've agreed to begin work on some of my ideas. With his help, my dreams could be realized. You're like, oh, okay.
Like,
That's
neat.
interesting. Let me go find this chapter 2, and then it says, we're like children with a bottomless toy box, creating and exploring, limited only by our imaginations. We cast aside the theories of old and invent new ones beyond method or reason. Our own world. ... It's like, oh yeah, so that's where we are. We're in like these two people or this guy with the aid of someone else, their world. And so then you go to chapter 3. The end of chapter 3 is his life fades, and with it the color of this world. I often retreat here alone now, spending ages away from my reality, unable to bear the future. In my solitude, my feelings breed the strangest of creations. So what that tells me, I'm sorry?
This is like, I guess, a game about dealing with grief or loss
Yeah,
or something.
maybe. I think it is a bit about dealing with loss, cuz like this one here I would say is probably the most indicative of that.
Yeah.
Cuz like whoever helped him create this mindscape is gone, right? They either
Yeah.
passed away, or I guess it says
Yeah.
his life
I don't
fades,
even
so it's
I don't
probably
even
kind
know
of
if it's
confirmed
a
that way.
mindscape. It could just be like an actual escape.
I mean, yeah, but I guess we're assuming like this is some kind of uh are we assuming this is some kind of like actual world that has been created, or this is like a not like
I
hallucination, but like
I don't know. Like,
it's it's like an alternate reality maybe?
it's making me think of I don't know if you played it or seen it. The game called The Room, with
I think I've
like
heard of
there's
it.
like a
I mean, I'm
uh,
sure I've heard of it. The
what would it be?
Room. A
Like
dollar? It's a dollar?
yeah, it's a pretty good game. Like this is a good puzzle game.
It's like a escape room.
Yeah, but it's like you gotta you find the like artifact, I guess, and it's like you're in this like dimension, I guess,
Yeah, that's probably more accurate. Wow, there's 4 of them.
something like that.
Hmm.
Yeah, there's
I
four
might
of them.
have to
And a VR.
I might have to pick these up at some point, just
Yeah,
cuz
you
like I
should.
do like escape rooms. Like that's one of
It
my
is
favorite things to do in
really
person
interesting.
is escape rooms.
And this game is better than Doors Paradox. I probably mentioned it on that
Yeah, you
video,
probably did.
and
Um
this one's way more interesting.
so I gotta pull up my second recording here
Um.
for the next
Anyway,
one.
yeah, it feels like you're like in a different dimension with this artifact that you were looking for when you made this world or something.
Hmm. Okay. And so after number 4, it says, this world seems to pulse now in his absence, sending chills down my spine. Now there is something else, something sinister. This morning I woke to find it at the foot of my bed, waiting, staring. And so like I guess in his grief, he has imagined up, whether he wants to admit it or not, I would say he's probably imagined up um like some kind of monster to haunt him, right? And it's probably, I would say that it's probably like either some kind of delusion, or his mind has broken and it's like a figment of his imagination or something like that.
Yeah, something.
Um it's like him tormenting him, but like he's not really aware of it because it's like not really him, sort of thing.
Yeah,
And then after you finish chapter 4, you go through this like tunnel in your basement, which leads to the
bridge.
bridge.
Wow.
Yeah. The game called The Bridge. There's an actual bridge that's like kind of off in space. And then there's text that kind of goes off on the
Floats.
screen.
Yeah.
Um, which I'm pulling up right now. Hang on.
You got it, or you
Says,
want me to- Okay.
oh my God. What? Do you have it?
Yeah,
No.
that one.
All right, hang on. It says It is no special feat to walk between the impossible. It is me, the bending stars and the stone. Even now, as the night comes to close, I understand their endeavors. What do I surrender to cross this bridge? And then it gets all wobbly and
Yeah,
a
you
bit
see like
crashes.
uh, I don't even know what you would call that.
It's
A
like an
cube.
arch.
Yeah, it's an arch, but like at the end of the
Mm,
bridge,
mm.
before the arch hits the bridge, you see like a
It's like an
um
impossible cube. So it's
like an
like a
impossible
cube.
cube.
It's like a cube inside of a cube, but it keeps
Like a
warping
the like
outside
a
and
fourth
inside of
dimension
itself.
cube, I guess.
Yeah,
A
that's probably what
tesseract,
it
I
is.
think, is what it is. I think it's called a
A
tesseract.
tesseract might be correct, actually. I think you might be right. And then it flashes to the beginning of
Yeah,
the game where you are sleeping underneath the apple tree, except in color. And you're like, oh, so does that mean that
yeah, tesseract.
like we have like conquered the grief? Like, is this him like building a bridge and getting over it? Like that was
Yeah,
my first thought,
I mean, it might be.
which is really funny. But like it doesn't really like address any of the things that is said in the previous little snippets. You know what I
No, it
mean?
doesn't.
Um, which is like pretty awkward, I would say. Uh, um, but yeah, and so there is technically more in
The mirrored.
the mirrored ones. Um, and so once you get to the end of chapter 1 in the mirrored, it says, everyone thinks me a fool. They don't see that my wealth in their world means nothing in mine, or that my wealth in their world means nothing in mine. I will devote my life to this if necessary. Only he understands. So it's like, man's not poor, but it doesn't matter to him. All that matters to him is like the pursuit of knowledge, I guess you could say.
Yeah, pursuit of knowledge or
Like
finding
creation, maybe.
whoever his like friend was.
Yeah.
Because
Um,
also, I guess if you notice, the statues are different, or
yeah,
like
they are a little.
statues that give the text are different. Like the ones in the non-mirrored chapters are of like a bearded guy, and then the ones in the mirrored chapters are, I think, of your character.
Oh, okay. So maybe this is like the
I think I might
perspective
be
of
wrong.
the other guy.
Maybe, I don't know. I could be wrong. Like,
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. It could be that the mirrored chapters like text is from the perspective of the other like mathematician that your character initially um is talking about, the one who
yeah,
dies. And then the second one says, my colleagues suspect something. If they only knew the depths of our work, maybe then we'd be free of this shame. And yet, no, I fear they'd cast us out as heretics, like the great Galileo. Um, this is something that happens pretty like regularly, I guess. When it comes to scientific discovery, somebody says something like crazy, and like the Earth rotates around the sun and
yeah.
not the other way
Like,
around.
what the fuck? That's not how that
That's
works. Fuck
crazy.
you.
You're a heretic. Get out of society. You're done, kiddo. Um,
Yeah.
and so like this kind of alludes to, they found something that is sort of society breaking, or like could be potentially seen as society breaking.
Yeah.
Um, and they want to tell people, but they don't really know a way to do it.
Hmm.
Um, yeah. So it says the third one for the end of the third mirrored chapter is, he is gone like a ravenous beast. It gnaws at my insides. Darkness festers in the corners of my mind and brings out a stalking menace, perverting our precious creations, my last memories of him. Um, I don't really know what that means.
Yeah, I don't know either.
But
Maybe
the
like
thing is
his-
that you notice that in this one, the verbiage is, he is gone, not his life has faded. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So if this is from the perspective of the guy that quote unquote died, maybe he got like consumed by this world
Maybe.
and is now like an entity within it. Maybe he is the dark thing at the end of that guy's bed, the foot of his bed.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I don't know. I know what you mean, but like,
There's not a whole lot of evidence to support this, but it's like, you know, maybe I don't know. And then the last one is the cube birthed from my burdened soul. Its incessant undulation is maddening. It defaces our world and keeps me hostage to what was once beautiful. Will I see him again across that bridge? So maybe I'm right. I don't know.
yeah, maybe I don't know.
Because if like this is something that created like severed his like I don't know life force from the real world, divorced him from reality.
Yeah,
Like maybe it is maybe you know. So that's the last thing that was said there, and then you know you go down in the basement, you walk across the bridge again, and you are walking, and it's nothing, no
yeah.
text
No text
until like the very end, I believe.
until it's like almost at the end, and it
It
says
says
only
only
everything.
everything. Yeah,
And then you glimpse before the archway hits the bridge, you glimpse two people at the end of it,
right.
which looks to me like one of them is the bearded guy from the non-mirrored chapter statues, and then
Yeah, it's like
another guy looks like Newton.
yeah. I was gonna say I think that looks like Isaac Newton. I don't know who like his contemporary is. Yeah, yeah, with the like long gray
Or
hair,
like long gray hair, like the fluffy gray hair.
mathematician,
Yeah.
physicist, astronomer, alchemist, theologian.
Mhm,
I
mhm.
don't know who the guy on the right is. Maybe it is Escher,
I don't know. I don't know what MC Escher looks
MC
like.
Escher. Yeah, I don't know. But either way, it
Or
does
maybe.
appear to be Newton and somebody. I'm sure some smarter person knows. Um, but either way, the arch hits again, bang, and it starts. You know, you fall through the like nether again, and you end up at the tree, sleeping. You gotta like waggle the world to wake you up again, but this time you're in black and white. Oh no, it colors again. Never mind.
No, it colors.
It
The the
colors.
the first few chapters color too, technically, for like briefly.
You wake up and then you walk back to your house, and your house is in shambles with the cube. Like,
Even in shambles, it's literally rubble.
yeah, it's rubble, just like destroyed. The cube is like pulling things in around it, like gravity, and you have the ability to like shape uh like
Rotate fully in the
yeah
world because I guess we didn't mention at the beginning. You can't rotate the world fully while you're at the house,
in the real world.
the like
Um,
my home, and
yeah, but
then
you can just a little to help this dumbass walk up a hill.
like walk up a hill. Yeah, seriously. But and then when at the end you have to like turn the world sideways to like fall into the cube, and then once you touch that, just credits.
Yep, credits. So I don't know what that means. Other than maybe it's like
Maybe this
the
isn't a game
main.
about getting over your grief. Maybe it's just a game about somebody who didn't.
You know, that's what I was gonna say. Is like maybe he joins his like contemporary, his friend, the only person that could see eye to eye with him in the world, and that's why he
Yeah,
like jumps into the cube. I don't know. It's kind of weird, kind of interesting, and you know, not every story needs to have a good end. And
yeah. I mean, I guess not.
if that's the case, if that's what this is, like it's him like giving into the grief or saying
Just
like
leaving. I
it's
guess
more interesting there. I'd rather be there than like okay,
I'd rather be there with them than here with no one.
right. And you know, that's fine. That's kind of a bleak it's kind of a bleak outlook, but
Yeah,
you
it
know,
is. But like, I mean, what are you gonna do? Scientist's gonna scientist.
basically. um yeah. So that's that. That's that.
That's it.
That's bridge. That the bridge.
That's it.
The bridge.
The bridge.
Um I don't really
Which,
have
I
anything
don't know,
else to
was there
say.
1 or 2 bridges? Is it the same bridge? I
I
don't
think
know.
it's the same bridge, dude. I think, you know, one side of the bridge and then you walk across it and that's the
The
other side,
mirrored
you know?
side, yeah, whatever, fuck it.
Uh, yeah. This game's boring unless you really like physics puzzles. Maybe this is
Yeah,
your jam. We got it for free. I would not
loose
spend a single dollar on this.
loosely, um, loosely described as physics puzzles, I guess.
Right.
I mean, technically they are. There's a lot of gravity involved and, you know,
Yeah,
shit like
for
that,
sure. Uh, yeah,
which I guess explains Newton.
yeah. Well, he was, you know,
Um,
he's the one that
yeah, I
did
mean,
Gravity, right? Isn't
yeah,
isn't he the one that
Newton's the one that invented gravity, yeah.
did Isaac Newton
Well, yeah, because he's the one who
invent
got the apple dropped on his
gravity?
head. That's the whole thing.
Listen,
The whole thing at the
Newton
beginning
did
of the
not
game.
invent the gravity. It was there before his time. He just discovered the gravitational concept. So no, Newton didn't invent gravity, idiot.
Oh man,
um,
that's the joke though. That's a good
the
one.
core thread is, what was life like before Isaac Newton invented gravity?
Yeah,
we all had to like
that's always a good one.
tether down like they do in Australia.
Yeah, they're yep.
Perfect. All right.
Australia is still tethered. What do you
Yeah, they're
mean?
still tethering down there to this day.
Because
It's probably quite awkward to
they're
live.
upside down. If they don't, they'll fall off.
They'll fall off the whole planet.
They've got like Velcro boots.
I'm gonna give this game
Anyway,
a 2.
yeah,
It's not the worst game I've ever played in my life by
I'm
any
gonna,
means, but it is the most boring game I've played in
I'm gonna
this
give it a
series.
3 just because like a 2 seems reasonable because it wasn't the worst game, but I did like the art.
Yeah,
Style.
that's fair.
So bumps it up.
All
Not
right.
as bad.
I think that is it, unless you
That's it.
wish to say another word.
I've got nothing else to
That
say.
is it then. The next game on our list of games to play is called Terraforming Mars. I have no idea what this game is about. We just chose it.
I hope it's okay because to me it looks like a management game, like a city management game.
Which it could be. It does look like a
Which-
hexagonal
Which
terraforming
could
of the
either
planet.
have like an end to it or just not. You know,
It says
I guess-
strategy turn-based single
I guess
player.
it's like it's not the first time we've played a game that technically doesn't have an end.
I mean, maybe there's a story mode. If there isn't, we'll just have to
play it.
figure it out.
We'll just play it for a while and
Yeah.
do our best.
It says it has a storyline, so
Okay, well, we'll see.
whatever.
Join us next time.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Join us next time. Thank you so much for listening to us kind of babble on about this nonsense game that isn't worth really playing. Would not recommend. Don't buy this game. Thank you so much for listening. And we'll see you next week.
Sure, play it, but don't buy it.
Goodbye.
Yeah. Bye-bye.